Most patients I see in my clinic tell me the same thing. Dr. Eric, waking up several times a night to use the bathroom is just a normal part of getting older. You have likely told yourself that too, as you listen to your footsteps on the cold floor at 2 a.m. But while this is common, it is certainly not normal. Think of your sleep as a late-night repair shop for your heart and brain. Every time you force yourself awake, the lights go out, and the vital maintenance stops midway. In my practice, I've seen how these broken nights silently accumulate, straining your heart and leaving your brain vulnerable to fog. The real danger isn't just the fatigue. It's that groggy walk in the dark that leads to a fall, threatening the independence you've worked so hard to keep. However, you aren't powerless. There is a simple, strategic kitchen ritual that can help reset your night. Before we begin, let me know, do you wake up once or more? To truly understand why your nights are being interrupted, we have to move past the simple idea that your bladder is just getting smaller. As a physician, I see many patients who have resigned themselves to a life of broken sleep. They tell me, Dr. Eric, I'm 65 now, this is just what happens. But I want to start by giving you a very specific medical term, nocturia. While it sounds like a heavy diagnosis, nocturia is simply the medical definition for the need to wake up one or more times during the night to urinate. In my clinical experience, the danger isn't the term itself. The danger is the normalization of the condition. When we accept nocturia as a mandatory part of aging, we stop looking for solutions, and more importantly, we stop recognizing the serious toll it takes on the body. Nocturia is not a life sentence. It is a symptom, a signal from your body that your internal rhythms are out of sync. To fix it, we first have to understand what exactly is happening inside your systems when that midnight alarm goes off. I want you to visualize your body as a high-performance vehicle. Throughout the day, you drive this vehicle hard. You use your brain to solve problems, your heart to pump blood during your morning walk, and your muscles to carry groceries or work in the garden. By the time the sun sets, that vehicle has sustained wear and tear. Parts are hot, fluids are low, and microscopic debris has built up in the engine. Sleep is not just downtime. Sleep is the body's repair shop. When you close your eyes and enter those deep stages of rest, the mechanics come out. This is the only time your body can perform essential maintenance that is impossible to do while you are awake. Your immune system produces cytokines to fight inflammation. Your muscles repair microscopic tears, and your heart rate slows down to give your cardiovascular tissue a chance to recover from the day's pressure. Now, imagine if every time the mechanics started working on the engine, someone pulled the fire alarm. The mechanics have to drop their tools, turn off the lights, and evacuate. When you wake up at 3 a.m. to use the bathroom, that is exactly what you are doing to your internal repair shop. You aren't just interrupting sleep. You are halting the biological restoration of your entire system. If this happens night after night, the repairs are never finished. The debris in the engine builds up. The parts remain worn. Eventually, the vehicle begins to break down. This is why we cannot simply ignore nocturia. The stakes are much higher than just feeling a little groggy the next morning. As an American physician, I am acutely aware of the specific health challenges we face as we age. When I talk to my patients over 60, I realize that their biggest fear isn't necessarily a specific disease. It's the loss of independence. You want to be able to drive your car, live in your own home, and play with your grandchildren without needing someone to watch over you. Nocturia is the silent enemy of that independence. Let's talk about the most immediate danger: falls. I cannot emphasize this enough. In the medical community, we often see a downward cascade that begins with a single midnight trip to the bathroom. Picture this. It's 2:30 a.m. You wake up suddenly because your bladder feels urgent. You're in a deep sleep state, meaning your brain is foggy and your blood pressure is at its lowest point. You swing your legs out of bed and stand up quickly. Because of your age, your body, baroreceptors, the sensors that manage blood pressure, don't react as fast as they used to. You feel a momentary wave of dizziness. You're walking through a dark hallway, perhaps stepping on a loose rug or trying to navigate around a piece of furniture you forgot was there. A fall at age 65 or 75 is not like a fall at age 25. It often results in a hip fracture or a head injury. In the United States, a hip fracture is one of the leading reasons why seniors lose their independence and are forced into assisted living. By solving your nocturia, we aren't just helping you sleep. We are quite literally keeping you on your feet and in your own home. The second major concern is your heart. Many people believe that waking up to pee is a gentle process. It's not. When your bladder sends an urgent signal to your brain to wake up, it triggers a surge of cortisol and adrenaline, your fight-or-flight hormones. Your heart rate, which should be slow and steady during sleep, suddenly spikes. Your blood pressure rises sharply to get you out of bed. If you're doing this 2 or 3 times every single night, you are putting your heart through a series of mini-shocks. Over months and years, this constant fluctuation puts an immense strain on your arteries and the heart muscle itself. Persistent nocturia has been clinically linked to an increased risk of hypertension and even congestive heart failure. Your heart deserves 8 hours of uninterrupted peace. Nocturia denies it that right. This is a topic that fascinates me, and one that I think every senior should know about. We used to wonder why sleep deprivation leads to memory loss and brain fog. Recently, scientists discovered something called the glymphatic system. Think of the glymphatic system as the trash collectors of your brain. During the day, your brain cells are busy, and they create metabolic waste. One of these waste products is a protein called beta amyloid. If you follow health news, you know that beta amyloid is the primary component of the plaques found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Here is the catch. The trash collectors only work when you are in deep sleep. When you are awake, the brain is too busy to clean. It's only during those long, uninterrupted stretches of sleep that the brain shrinks its cells slightly to allow cerebrospinal fluid to wash away the day's toxic buildup. When you wake up every 2 hours, the trash collectors never get a chance to finish their route. The toxins stay. The result? You wake up with brain fog, you struggle to remember names, and you increase the long-term risk of cognitive decline. Protecting your sleep is, quite literally, protecting your mind. Finally, there is the psychological toll. When you don't sleep, you lose your spark. I see patients who stop going to their bridge clubs, stop walking their dogs, and stop volunteering because they are simply too exhausted. This exhaustion makes you feel old. It robs you of the energy required to engage with your family and your community. This leads to social isolation, which we know is as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We want to restore your sleep so we can restore your vitality. Now that we've established the why, we need to look at the how. Many of you are already trying to fix this, but you might be following advice that is actually making the problem worse. In the US, we are bombarded with health tips, but many of them lack context. Let's debunk the 3 biggest myths that are likely keeping you awake. I hear this all the time. Dr. Eric, a small glass of wine or a bit of brandy before bed helps me relax and fall asleep faster. I understand why it feels that way. Alcohol is a sedative. It shuts the brain down. But I want you to think of alcohol as a bad contractor. Imagine you hire a contractor to renovate your house, your sleep. He shows up on time, but he uses the cheapest materials possible. He builds a house that looks okay on the outside, but the roof leaks and the wiring is dangerous. Alcohol destroys the architecture of your sleep. It specifically suppresses REM, rapid eye movement sleep, which is the stage responsible for emotional regulation and memory. But more importantly for your bladder, alcohol is a diuretic. It inhibits the antidiuretic hormone, ADH, in your brain. Normally, ADH tells your kidneys to slow down urine production at night so you can sleep. Alcohol tells the ADH to take the night off. As a result, your kidneys work overtime, filling your bladder within just a few hours of falling asleep. That relaxing glass of wine is actually a guarantee that you will be standing over the toilet at 3 a.m. The second myth is about water. People often think that if they drink enough water at any time of the day, they are being healthy. Or they realize they haven't had enough water all day and try to catch up by drinking 2 large glasses right before bed. Think of your bladder as a reservoir. If you have a reservoir that is already 80% full and a heavy rainstorm, a large glass of water, hits right before the dam gates are closed for the night, the reservoir is going to overflow. The strategy isn't to drink less water. Hydration is critical for your kidneys and joints. The strategy is timing. Your body follows a diurnal pattern. Your kidneys are most efficient at filtering fluid when you are upright and active. When you backload your hydration by drinking late in the evening, you are giving your kidneys a massive workload just as they are trying to slow down. This fluid has nowhere to go but into your bladder while you are trying to rest. Finally, let's talk about the light bedtime snack. Many of my patients think they are being very disciplined by choosing fruit over a bowl of ice cream or chips. They'll have a few slices of watermelon, an orange, or some grapes before bed. While these fruits are packed with vitamins, they are also essentially structured water. Watermelon is 92% water. Oranges are highly acidic, which can actually irritate the lining of the bladder, creating a false urge to urinate even when the bladder isn't full. When you eat high-water fruit at 9 p.m., you are effectively drinking a glass of water that also contains sugars that can spike your energy. This is why the banana is the superior strategic choice and why I want to teach you the specific method to use it. A banana is dense. It has low water content, but is packed with the exact minerals, potassium and magnesium, that calm the bladder muscle. By understanding these myths and the medical reality of nocturia, you are no longer a victim of aging. You are now a student of your own biology. In the next section, I'm going to show you how to turn this knowledge into a ritual that will finally allow you to sleep through the night and wake up feeling like the independent, vibrant person you were meant to be. To understand why a simple piece of fruit can be more effective than many over-the-counter sleep aids, we have to look past the peel and into the fascinating world of biochemistry. I often tell my patients that a banana isn't just a snack, it is a nature's sleep symphony. Within this single fruit, you have a perfectly orchestrated team of nutrients that target the 2 biggest enemies of a senior rest, an overactive mind and a restless bladder. The first performer in this symphony is tryptophan. I call tryptophan the architect. It is an essential amino acid, which means your body cannot create it on its own. It must be imported through the food you eat. In my clinical practice, I've found that many seniors are surprisingly deficient in this precursor. Once tryptophan enters your system, it undergoes a beautiful transformation. Your body converts it into serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for feelings of calm, safety, and well-being. But the magic doesn't stop there. As the evening light fades, your brain's pineal gland takes that serotonin and converts it into melatonin. For many of you, your natural production of melatonin has decreased as you've aged. By eating a banana, you aren't just taking a hormone supplement. You are providing the raw bricks. Your brain needs to build its own natural lights out signal. This is why you feel a gentle, natural drowsiness rather than the drugged feeling often associated with pharmaceutical sleep aids. Next, we have the regulators, potassium and magnesium. If you struggle with what I call a restless bladder, these 2 minerals are your best friends. Think of your bladder as a muscular balloon. As we age, that muscle can become irritable or hypersensitive. I've seen many patients who feel an overwhelming urge to go to the bathroom, even when their bladder is only 20% full. This is often because the muscle is twitching or contracting prematurely. Magnesium is nature's ultimate muscle relaxant. It acts as a gatekeeper, telling the bladder muscle to stay calm and expand naturally rather than spasming. Meanwhile, potassium works in tandem to balance the fluids in your cells, preventing the kidneys from overproducing urine during the night. Together, they quiet the false alarms that send you walking down the hallway at 3 a.m. Finally, we have the assistant, vitamin B6. This is a detail many people overlook. You can have all the tryptophan in the world, but without vitamin B6, your body struggles to convert it into the serotonin you need. The banana is one of the few fruits that provides both the raw material, tryptophan, and the worker, B6, in one convenient package. This ensures the chemical assembly line in your brain runs smoothly from the moment you take your first bite. Now, simply eating a banana isn't enough to reclaim your independence from the midnight bathroom trip. You need a protocol. In my years of working with seniors, I have refined what I call the Whitman Method. It's a 4-step ritual designed to maximize these biological benefits. The first mistake people make is choosing a banana that is too green or even perfectly yellow. For our purposes, we are looking for the spotted banana, one with brown freckles. As a doctor, I focus on your digestion as much as your sleep. Green bananas are high in resistant starch, which can be very difficult for a senior's digestive system to break down at night, often leading to gas or bloating that actually keeps you awake. When a banana develops those brown spots, it means the starch has been converted into simple, easy-to-digest sugars. More importantly, research suggests that the concentration of bioavailable magnesium and tryptophan actually increases as the fruit ripens. The spots are a signal that the medicine is ready. Timing is everything. You cannot eat a banana, brush your teeth, and jump into bed expecting immediate results. Your metabolism requires time to process these minerals and begin the conversion into melatonin. I recommend my patients perform their ritual 60 to 90 minutes before their desired sleep time. If you aim to be asleep by 10 p.m., your Whitman Method ritual should happen between 8:30 and 9 p.m. This allows the symphony to reach its crescendo just as your head hits the pillow. I offer my patients 3 specific ways to consume their nightly banana, depending on their preference. Option A, the mindful banana. This is for those who enjoy simplicity. Peel the spotted banana, slice it into thin rounds, and sit in a quiet chair away from the television. Eat it slowly. This act of mindful eating helps lower your heart rate and signals to your nervous system that the day is over. Option B, the golden elixir. This is my personal favorite for clinical results. Take half of a spotted banana and mash it into a paste. Mix it with 5 ounces of warm, unsweetened almond milk. Almond milk adds an extra boost of magnesium. Add a small pinch of cinnamon. Cinnamon is a secret weapon. It helps stabilize your blood sugar throughout the night, preventing the sugar crash that can sometimes wake you up in a cold sweat at 4 a.m. Option C, the peel tea. If you are brave and want the maximum dose of minerals, try this. Wash an organic banana peel thoroughly, cut off the ends, and boil it in 2 cups of water for 10 minutes. Most of the magnesium and potassium are actually concentrated in the skin. Strain the water into a mug and drink it as a warm tea. You can even eat the fruit afterward. It is a potent, natural sleep tonic that costs almost nothing. Finally, we must talk about what not to do. The Whitman Method fails if you pair your banana with a sugary cookie or a piece of cake. Refined sugars cause an insulin spike that interferes with your brain's ability to absorb tryptophan. It is like trying to listen to a symphony while someone is playing a loud drum set next to you. Keep your ritual pure. Just the banana, the minerals, and the quiet. By following this method, you are doing more than just snacking. You are taking a proactive step toward protecting your heart, your brain, and your independence. You are giving your body the tools it needs to keep you in bed and out of the dark hallway. Tonight, I want you to try it. Choose the spotted banana, respect the clock, and let nature's biochemistry do the work for you. While the Whitman Banana Method is a powerful tool in your arsenal, I always tell my patients that a single habit, no matter how effective, cannot fix a broken lifestyle. To truly protect your night and, by extension, your independence, we must build a fortress around your rest. I call these the 5 pillars of a protected night. These aren't just tips. They are biological requirements for the human body, especially as we move into our 60s, 70s, and beyond. When these pillars are ignored, even the best nutritional ritual can struggle to keep you in bed. But when they are aligned, they create a synergy that allows your brain and heart to experience the deep, restorative maintenance they crave. Your body is not a machine that you simply turn on and off. It is a biological organism governed by a master conductor located deep within your brain in a region called the hypothalamus. This conductor follows a 24-hour rhythm known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm dictates when your body releases cortisol to wake you up and when it releases melatonin to put you to sleep. In my clinic, the most common mistake I see among retired seniors is what I call schedule drift. Because you no longer have to punch a time card at an office, it is easy to stay up late one night watching a movie and then sleep in the next morning. You might think, I'm retired. I've earned the right to sleep in. And while that's true, your internal conductor doesn't care about your retirement status. When you change your wake-up time by even 60 minutes, you are essentially giving your body mini jet lag. If you wake up at 7 a.m. on Monday, but stay in bed until 9 a.m. on Saturday, your hormones become confused. By the time Sunday night rolls around, your brain doesn't know when to start the sleep countdown. This confusion often manifests as lying awake at midnight, which inevitably leads to more trips to the bathroom because a bored, awake brain is hyper-aware of a half-full bladder. To protect your night, you must pick a wake-up time and stick to it 7 days a week. This consistency trains your heart and kidneys to expect a period of downtime, making it much easier for the Whitman Method to take hold. Let's talk about the most practical pillar for stopping nocturia, the hydration curfew. I want you to adopt a new motto. Hydrate like a marathoner in the morning. Live like you're in a drought in the evening. Many of my patients spend their lives in a state of chronic low-level dehydration, which irritates the bladder. Then, feeling thirsty in the evening, they drink a full 16-ounce glass of water with their evening medications or while watching the news. This is a recipe for a broken night. Physiologically, your body handles fluid differently depending on your posture. During the day, when you are upright and moving, gravity causes fluid to pool in your lower legs. This is why many seniors notice their ankles are slightly swollen by 5 p.m. The moment you lie flat in bed, gravity is removed. That fluid in your legs moves back into your bloodstream. Your kidneys filter it, and, you guessed it, it goes straight to your bladder. To manage this, you must set a curfew. 2 to 3 hours before your head hits the pillow, you should stop all significant fluid intake. If you get a dry mouth, you can use ice chips or take tiny medicinal sips of water, but the days of finishing a bottle of water on the nightstand must end. By moving your hydration to the first 10 hours of your day, you give your kidneys time to process that fluid while you are still upright and active, ensuring your reservoir is empty before the repair shop opens for the night. As a physician, I am often shocked when I see the environments in which my patients try to sleep. They have televisions glowing, humming electronics, and thermostats set far too high. To get the deep sleep that cleanses your brain of toxins, you need to turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary, or what I call the sleep cave. There are 3 non-negotiable requirements for a sleep cave: total darkness, cool temperatures, and absolute silence. First, darkness. Your pineal gland is incredibly sensitive to light. Even a tiny standby light on a television or the glow from a digital alarm clock can be detected through your eyelids. This light sends a signal to your brain that it is daytime, which immediately puts the brakes on melatonin production. I recommend blackout curtains and covering every single LED light in your room with black tape. Second, temperature. This is where many of my American seniors struggle. We love a warm, cozy house. However, human biology requires the core body temperature to drop by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate deep sleep. If your room is 75 degrees, your body has to work overtime to shed heat, which keeps your heart rate elevated and your sleep light. I tell my patients to set their thermostats between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It might feel chilly when you first get in, but that cool air is the biological trigger your brain needs to enter the deep stages of repair. Finally, silence. As we age, our sleep becomes more fragile. A dog barking 3 houses away or a car door slamming can jar you out of a deep sleep cycle. Once you are jarred awake, your brain immediately scans your body and notices that your bladder is 40% full, and suddenly, you're standing up again. Use a white noise machine or a simple box fan to create a consistent blanket of sound that masks these midnight interruptions. I often hear the phrase, "I don't know why I can't sleep. I haven't done anything all day." That is exactly the problem. You have to earn your rest. Your body is an energy exchange system. If you spend the entire day sitting in a recliner, your body doesn't accumulate the sleep pressure, driven by a chemical called adenosine, needed to keep you under for 8 hours. However, the type and timing of that movement are critical. I am a huge advocate for strategic movement. This means getting your heart rate up in the morning or early afternoon. A brisk 30-minute walk, a swim at the local YMCA, or working in the garden are perfect. This physical exertion creates a healthy fatigue in your muscles and cardiovascular system. What you must avoid is high-intensity movement in the 3 hours before bed. I've had patients who try to do their mall walking or treadmill sessions at 8 p.m. This is a mistake. Intense exercise raises your core temperature and floods your system with cortisol, the exact opposite of what we want before the Whitman Method begins. Think of it this way. Morning movement wakes up the body. Evening stillness prepares the soul. If you must move in the evening, keep it to a very gentle stroll or some light stretching. This final pillar is perhaps the most difficult for the modern senior, but it is the most vital for your brain health. We are currently living through a blue light epidemic. Our televisions, tablets, and smartphones emit a specific frequency of blue light that is nearly identical to the midday sun. When you sit in bed and scroll through social media or watch the nightly news, you are telling your brain a biological lie. You are telling your hypothalamus that it is 12 p.m., not 9 p.m. Your brain responds by shutting down melatonin production and keeping your internal systems in active mode. I ask my patients to observe a digital sunset. This means 90 minutes before you want to be asleep, all blue light-emitting screens go off. This is the perfect time to start your Whitman banana ritual. Use this 90-minute window to read a physical book, listen to an audiobook, or engage in a conversation with your spouse. By removing the blue light, you allow your brain to naturally dim the lights internally. When you integrate these 5 pillars with the Whitman Method, you aren't just fixing a sleep problem. You are engaging in a comprehensive anti-aging strategy. Imagine a life where you wake up at 7 a.m. feeling sharp, not groggy. Imagine your brain fog lifting because your glymphatic system finally had the 8 hours it needed to wash away those Alzheimer S-linked proteins. Imagine your heart being stronger because it wasn't shocked awake 3 times last night by a surge of adrenaline. But most importantly, think about your independence. By following these pillars, you are drastically reducing your risk of a midnight fall. You are maintaining the energy you need to drive, to travel, and to be a present, active part of your family's life. You are not just getting older. You are getting wiser about how you care for the only body you have. These pillars are the foundation. The Whitman Method is the key. Together, they give you back the night, so you can fully enjoy the day. Tonight, pick one pillar to start with, perhaps the hydration curfew or the digital sunset, and see how your body responds. You'll be surprised at how quickly your repair shop can get back to work when you finally give it the right conditions. If you remember only one thing from our time together, let it be the silent danger of fragmented sleep, the slow, hidden wear on your heart and brain that occurs every time you are forced out of bed. If you have spent years resigned to those midnight walks, feeling that your body was simply failing you, please know it wasn't your fault. You weren't being careless. The system simply hasn't explained these biological signals clearly enough until now. The good news is that your body still knows how to heal, and by starting the Whitman Method, you are reclaiming the independence you deserve. If you are ready to take back your nights, simply comment, "Starting today" below. Following this channel isn't about entertainment. It is about ensuring you do not miss these early warnings that the modern medical world often overlooks. Next, we need to discuss a habit even more common than nocturia. one that is quietly straining your kidneys before you even finish your morning coffee. I share these insights because I have seen far too many patients in my clinic who only wish they had known this sooner. I wish you a night of deep, uninterrupted peace. This is not a rigid diet. It is a roadmap designed for the American lifestyle, simple, accessible, and grounded in the rhythm of a normal day. We are going to walk through a single day together, from the moment you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow, showing you exactly how to deploy your protective battalion for maximum effect. Your day begins at 7 a.m. While you slept, your body was in a catabolic state, meaning it was breaking down tissues for energy because you weren't eating. For a 20-year-old, this is fine. For someone over 60, this is where muscle loss can accelerate if we aren't careful. We need to flip the switch from breakdown to build as soon as possible. This is why we start with the avocado and egg foundation. I want you to have that slice of whole grain sprouted bread we discussed, the kind that provides a slow release of energy. Mash your half avocado on top. Why now? The healthy monounsaturated fats in the avocado are the precursors your body needs to produce the hormones that drive muscle growth throughout the day. But the avocado needs a partner. By adding that hard-boiled or poached egg, you are providing leucine. In geriatric nutrition, we talk about the leucine threshold. As we age, our muscles become deaf to the signal to grow. We need a larger shout of leucine, about 2.5 to 3 grams, to wake them up. An egg combined with the protein in whole grain bread gets you closer to that threshold. When you squeeze that lemon and sprinkle that pepper, you are aiding digestion and collagen support. This breakfast tells your body, the fast is over, we have the materials, start building. Around 10:30 a.m., you might feel that familiar dip in energy. In the past, you might have reached for a muffin or a piece of toast. Instead, this is when we deploy the red apple with the skin. By eating your grated apple with cinnamon now, you are performing a midday architectural checkup. The ursolic acid in the skin sends that ceasefire order we talked about, ensuring that the muscle you just started building at breakfast isn't wasted as the morning progresses. The pectin fiber in the apple also keeps your blood sugar stable, preventing the insulin spikes that lead to inflammaging. This is the bridge that carries you to lunch without a metabolic crash. It keeps your mind sharp and your muscle-building pathways open. Lunch is often where the silent thief of sarcopenia gains ground, usually because we eat something heavy in refined carbs and low in nutrients. We are going to change that. Your lunch should be a clean protein source, perhaps a grilled chicken breast or a piece of baked cod. But the secret weapon is the salad. I want you to have a generous bed of fresh spinach. Spinach is rich in nitrates, which modern research shows can improve the efficiency of the mitochondria, the power plants, inside your muscle cells. But we aren't done. I want you to toss a handful of blueberries or mixed berries directly into that salad. The tartness of the berries pairs beautifully with a light vinaigrette, but the biological reason is even better. By midday, your body has accumulated oxidative stress from your morning activities. The anthocyanins in those berries act as an elite paratrooper team, dropping into your system to neutralize free radicals and sharpen that neuromuscular connection. If you're planning to go for a walk or run errands in the afternoon, this berry-infused lunch ensures your brain and muscles are plugged in and communicating perfectly, protecting your balance. Around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., many of my patients experience what they call the afternoon slump. This is the danger zone where people sit on the recliner and don't get back up. This is when we use the banana and cocoa smoothie. Remember, this is not a milkshake. It's a high-octane recovery fuel. The frozen banana provides the clean fuel, glucose and fructose, to refill your muscle glycogen. Vitamin B6 acts as the catalyst to ensure that any protein you've eaten so far is being metabolized correctly. By adding a tablespoon of pure cocoa, you are increasing blood flow to your extremities. This smoothie gives you the second wind you need to stay active until dinner. It satisfies the sweet tooth that often plagues us in the evening, but it does so while supporting your physical strength. Dinner is about preparation for the long fast of sleep. A piece of salmon is the ideal choice here. The omega-3 fatty acids in salmon are world-class anti-inflammatories. They cool down the systemic fire that ages your muscles. Pair this with steamed broccoli, rich in sulforaphane, another muscle protector. And for dessert, a few fresh strawberries. They are low in sugar but high in vitamin C and antioxidants. This final dose of protection ensures that as you sleep, your body has the micronutrients it needs to perform nighttime maintenance on your muscle fibers. By following this roadmap, you haven't just eaten 3 meals. You have conducted a 24-hour symphony of muscle preservation. You have addressed the foundation, the architecture, the defense, and the fuel. This is how you take control of your biology. Now, I must be completely honest with you as your doctor. We have spent a lot of time talking about nutrition, and it is a massive piece of the puzzle. It is the bricks and mortar of your physical house. But there is a second half to this equation that we cannot ignore. You can have the best bricks and the finest mortar in the world, but if no one ever lives in the house, it will eventually fall into disrepair. In the world of human biology, we call this the law of motion. There is a fundamental principle that governs every cell in your body. Use it or lose it. Your body is an incredibly efficient and sometimes incredibly lazy machine. It is constantly looking for ways to save energy. Muscle tissue is expensive for your body to maintain. It requires a lot of calories, a lot of oxygen, and a lot of blood flow. When you spend your day being sedentary, sitting for long hours at the computer, watching several hours of television, or driving everywhere, you are sending a very clear sedentary message to your brain. That message is, I am no longer using these expensive muscle fibers in my legs, my core, and my arms. They are a waste of resources. Please dismantle them. And because your body is obedient, it begins the process of atrophy. It starts to foreclose on your muscle mass. No amount of avocados or apples can fully overcome a body that is being told it no longer needs to be strong. Sarcopenia loves the sedentary life. It thrives in the quiet moments on the sofa. But here is the good news, and it's the reason I'm so passionate about this. The signal is reversible. You do not need to become a marathon runner or join a high-intensity gym to change the message you are sending to your brain. You just need to create an anabolic stimulus. This is a fancy way of saying you need to remind your body that these muscles are useful and necessary. I want to introduce you to the concept of micro-movements. These are small, non-athletic actions that you can weave into your 24-hour roadmap. They don't require special clothes, and they won't make you sweat through your shirt, but they are incredibly effective at waking up the muscle-building pathways. Tomorrow morning, while you are waiting for the kettle to boil or the coffee to brew, I want you to stand at your kitchen counter. Place your hands lightly on the edge for balance. Now, simply sit your hips back as if you're going to sit in a chair, and then stand back up. Do this 10 times. This simple action recruits the type 2 muscle fibers in your thighs and glutes, the fibers most responsible for your balance and your ability to stand up from a chair. By doing this while you prepare your avocado power toast, you are combining the bricks, nutrition, with the construction order, motion. The next time you go to the store, I want you to purposely park your car at the far end of the parking lot. Walk at a brisk pace toward the entrance, fast enough that it would be a little bit difficult to hold a conversation. This short burst of activity increases your heart rate and forces your leg muscles to stabilize you on the pavement. When you carry those grocery bags back to the car, don't look at them as a chore. Look at them as functional resistance training. Those bags are the weights that tell your body, keep the arm and shoulder muscles strong. We need them for the shopping. If you're watching the news or a movie, every time a commercial comes on, stand up. Don't just sit there. Walk to the other side of the room and back. Stretch your arms toward the ceiling. This breaks the sedentary spell and tells your nervous system that you are still active and engaged. When you combine these small movements with the strategic nutrition we've discussed, you create a powerful biological synergy. The movement creates the demand, and the fruits provide the supply. Think back to John, my patient who struggled with his cast iron skillet. John didn't just start eating apples. He started doing grip squeezes with a tennis ball while he watched the evening news. He started taking the stairs one extra time a day. By combining the ursolic acid from the apple skins with the physical demand of using his hands and legs, he gave his body no choice but to get stronger. 6 months later, he wasn't just lifting the skillet. He was back in his wood shop, building a cradle for his newest grandchild. That is what is at stake here. This is not about looking fit or hitting the gym. This is about the sovereignty of your life. It is about the ability to choose where you go, what you do, and how you live. Sarcopenia wants to narrow your world until it is the size of a single room. But with these 4 fruits and these small, consistent movements, you can push back. You can keep your world wide, vibrant, and independent. You have the roadmap now. You have the 24-hour strategy, and you have the law of motion. You are no longer guessing. You are no longer a victim of just getting old. You are a person with a plan. As we close this conversation, I want to remind you that the most important step is the one you take next. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one thing from today's talk. Maybe tomorrow morning, you'll try the avocado-powered toast. Maybe this afternoon, you'll go buy a bag of red apples and commit to eating one with the skin. I would love to hear which of these steps you are going to take first. In the comments below, simply type one of 3 things. I'm in, if you're ready to start the 24-hour plan. Starting tomorrow, WW, if you're going to the grocery store to get your 4 warriors. Independent C, if that is your primary goal. By typing that comment, you aren't just interacting with a video, you are committing yourself. You are joining a community of people who refuse to let the silent thief win. Thank you for spending this time with me. It is an honor to be a part of your journey toward a stronger, more independent life. I am Dr. Eric Whitman. Stay strong, stay active, and I'll see you in the next one. If there is one thing I want you to carry with you after today, it is that sarcopenia is not a crisis. It is the silent, daily erosion of your physical freedom. You might have caught yourself recently, perhaps choosing the elevator for a single floor, or letting a heavy door close on its own, quietly accepting it as the natural weight of the years. It isn't because you were careless. It is simply because no one explained that this decline is a clinical condition that you can actually push back against. You still hold the keys to your own autonomy, and by making even one small change in your kitchen today, you are reclaiming a piece of your future. You are not too late. If this realization hits home for you, please just type the word strength in the comments. It is a simple way to let me know you are ready to take control. I invite you to follow this channel, not for entertainment, but as a safeguard, so you never miss these early warnings. In our next conversation, I will be discussing a risk that is even more common and often more brittle than muscle loss itself. I share these things because I have sat with far too many patients who only wish they had known all of this years earlier. I'm Dr. Eric Whitman. Stay strong.